On the news tonight, President Buhari honored in Niger for impactful leadership in West Africa. Vice President Osinbajo seeks global support for Africa's gas project. Central Bank of Nigeria advocates sectoral commitment to national increasing targets. And reproductive health. Federal government works to reduce maternal deaths. Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja. Michael Olale is in our Lagos studio. Thanks for joining us. As a mark of appreciation for his impactful leadership and enormous contribution to peace, stability, security and democracy in West Africa and across the continent, the Republic of Niger has named a major road in Niamey, the capital city, after President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
It was a befitting welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari on arrival at Niamey International Airport. At the head of the welcoming party, comprising top officials of the Nigerian government, was Prime Minister Muhammadu Mahamudu. President Buhari is here ahead of Friday's African Union Summit on Industrialization and Economic Diversification, as well as the extraordinary session on African Continental Free Trade Area. Shortly after, the President and his Nigerian counterpart, Mohamed Bazoum, as well as their respective countries' delegations, were driven to the heart of Niamey for the inauguration of the newly constructed road infrastructure. The road is named after the Nigerian leader by the Nigerian government in furtherance of sustained efforts at pushing higher the existing coded relations between Nigeria and Niger. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, described the event as significant.
It is significant because it's not one of those things that are done to please the leader while he is there. You can see, at the ceremony, the Nigerian president gave the decree, signed by the mayor of Niamey, written in line with the country's constitution, naming this street as Muhammadu Buhari Boulevard. And the essence of that decree is that it is never to be changed for life. So it will continue to be in his own name. And we are told simply that they are doing this out of the respect they have for our President Muhammadu Buhari. I feel great because we have produced a leader who is respected not only at home, but, across the borders. But I must say also that, the respect is mutually shared. It's on both sides. And President Muhammadu Buhari is one who had shown from the very beginning tremendous respect for our neighbors. And he fully understands the very essence of neighborliness. His first outing, you recall, a week after he was inaugurated in 2015, was to cross the borders of Nigeria and to say, let's talk to our neighbors. When he came at that time, those neighbors, some of them were complaining they were not even being talked to by Nigerian leadership. So we have opened up dialogue with them and it is paying off. We are partnering with them in essential matters, especially of security, tackling smuggling and all of this, the importation of illegal weapons, drugs, and all of that. So the partnership is complete.
At the AU summit, President Buhari is expected to deliver Nigeria's national statement on industrialization and economic diversification. From Niamey, the Republic of Niger, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Vice President Osinbajo has again called on countries sponsoring the funding of gas projects in Africa to abandon the idea, but rather support Africa in the quest towards meeting its energy needs for growth and development. Anything contrary to this, he observes, would further dip the people into poverty, State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
And can build local industries and fair that the race to net zero must not leave Africa in the dark.
At every given opportunity, the Vice President never hesitates in stating the obvious danger lurking behind the door if the idea of defunding of gas projects in Africa is implemented. Here at the Queen's University in Kingston Town, Canada, where he is a guest speaker, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says exploring the gas option as a transitional fuel is key towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and the actualization of the objectives on climate change.
So clearly, limiting the development of domestic gas projects, which is a critical energy transition pathway for Africa, violates the enshrined principles of equity and justice and poses dire challenges for African nations while making an insignificant dent in global emissions.
Nigeria, as it says, is committed to the United Nations goal of ending pollution, regarded as one of the major causes of climate change challenges. The letter forms part of a collaboration among the Queen's University and some non-governmental non-profit making organizations coming together to promote education of the people for a better society.
But if we're ever going to make any difference, we just have to work with other people. It's not a choice. It is something that we must do. Otherwise, we're not going to go anywhere.
The Vice President, on arrival at the Queen's University, was received by the university top-ranking officials and had discussions on how the institution can collaborate more with Nigeria in the education sector.
I think it's very successful. I think we had a chance to meet with the government at the highest levels. We've had a chance to visit two universities where we're doing very serious work in a collaborative sense. We had a chance to promote the Nollywood culture that is doing so very well.
Without considering the position of others, then it seems the world is going nowhere with the fight against climate change. In Kingston, Canada, Jide Onifade, NT News.
The House of Representatives has passed a resolution to investigate the execution of the $475 million project of fiber infrastructure across the country. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the resolution was in response to a motion from Benjamin Mzondu during Thursday's plenary.
The Memorandum of Understanding signed between Galaxy Backbone and Huawei Technology is the subject of interest. Representative Benjamin Mzondu said the MOU was signed in 2018 for the design, manufacture and deployment of the kit that controls data movements across ministries, departments and agencies of government, which as agreed is to be executed in 2 phases.
All through the execution and completion phases of the project funded by part of the credit facility, Galaxy Backbone and to a large extent the Ministry of Communication have frustrated efforts to oversight progress of the project.
The House also resolves to investigate the death of an outpatient of the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, FCT, due to alleged negligence.
Mr. Paul Edmond died of cardiac arrest at the medical center sent the patient home without proper medical examination and treatment due to the fact that he was adjudged to have come late to the hospital to complain of severe chest pain.
3 bills were read the third Simon pass, among them the bill to establish Institute of Economics of Nigeria, while 2 bills passed second reading, including the bill to establish University of Health Sciences, Osun State, from Femi Fakeye.
As a training institute for the development of medical and health sciences, and make comprehensive provisions for the management and administration of the university.
The House considered and approved the establishment of the Nigeria Correctional Service Trust Fund, sponsored by Anayo Edwin, which seeks to, among others, provide security equipment and training for personnel. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Secretaries to state governments have been told to play a more visible role in ensuring effective coordination and harmonious working relationship for quality service delivery. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated this in Jos at a meeting of the Forum of SSGs. Rinred Silvanus Lot has details.
Meeting of the Forum of Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Secretary to the State Governments attracted participants from across the country. Addressing the meeting, Secretary to the Government of the Federation says the periodic interactions have contributed immensely towards the sustenance of strategic understanding among the stakeholders. The forum, he adds, will continue to search for innovative ways of ensuring effective service delivery.
This SSG forum will provide further insight on the role of the secretaries to the government and governance, especially with regards to policy articulations and coordination of government programs. If we have to make any progress in Nigeria and ensure that the main resources we have are used effectively for the good of the people, we must strengthen our systems and allow them to work.
A lead paper by the former head of civil service of the Federation, Ms. Amal Pepo, stressed the need for government policy to address the needs of the people.
The people want our policies to touch their lives. If those policies do not touch their lives and do not change their lives for the better, they can never trust us as leaders.
The meeting has the role of secretaries to government in building infrastructure for effective governance as its theme. From Government House, Rayfield, Rinred Silvanus Lot, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service says the backlog of passport applications being experienced in parts of the country is as a result of upsurge in the demand for passports rather than perceived shortage of passport booklets. Public Relations Officer, Nigeria Immigration Service, Tony Akuneme, gave the indication during a media briefing at the service headquarters in Abuja. Victor Azu reports.
Coming on the heels of the investigative report by the NTA, the Nigerian Immigration Service is attributing delays in passport processing to upsurge in demand post-COVID-19 lockdown.
Acquiring travel documents has become a little bit more challenging because COVID put pressure on the traveling populace worldwide. For the period of 2020, all the applicants for Nigerian passports could not be attended to because we didn't have physical contact with anybody. What we're facing is a deluge, an upsurge in the number of applicants, and it's actually overstretching our facilities as well.
The service's public relations officer warns Nigerians who have no plans of traveling in the short term to quit applying for passports, thereby heaping pressure on the passport system.
You don't need a passport if you're not going to make use of it. Most people in civilized countries live and die without having a passport.
And less than 24 hours after our report on the widespread allegations of international passport racketeering, Tony Akuneme parades a personnel of the service and a passport applicant allegedly facing disciplinary measures for giving and receiving bribes. The action is the Nigerian Immigration Service's way of dealing with the bad eggs. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Nigeria is redoubling its efforts at improving reproductive health and rights towards attaining Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Speakers at the International Scientific Conference of the Society of Gynecology and Obstetrics of Nigeria identified lack of access and utilization of family planning services in the country as one of the major issues hindering the desired drop in maternal deaths. There is, however, a paradigm shift by stakeholders from health to socio-economic development targeted at achieving health for all.
The way to do that is to ensure that women have access to family planning. There should be better funding of family planning. There should be improved services in all nooks and corners of this country.
As the level of traditional and values, how you receive, to relate, understand, and deliver sexual and in most ways. The idea is that you don't get it. But actually, the number of
essential reproductive health care. It gives global and health and only the 8 million by 2030.
I will take a short break at this point. There'll be more news just ahead.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. Little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial star 777 to select your Glow Data plan.
It depends me. It depends you. It depends us. It depends everybody. Yes. But bloodshed, scatter, come out, it no go suffer. This one they talk, and make them go if they want go. This one they talk, we go come out, we go. This one say, make we scatter, make we burn, make we do everything. When you scatter finish, where you go? Okay, you go take private jet, carry your family go. But make I ask you, what about your uncle, mama, auntie, brother, sister? What about them? Remember, who throws stones for market? You don't know whether the stone go touch your own person. If the thing will go come out from your mouth, you no go fit gather us together as one people. Shut up with please. Where no get friend, you don't know language, you don't know anything. So if our brigade too much, make we sit down at the table of dialogue. Nigeria na my own, Nigeria na your own, Nigeria na our own. Make we come together, keep them together.
His Excellency Yesom Ezeonwe KCON, GSSRS, Infrastructure, Gavin, Life Venture, Gavin of River State, cordially invites the general public to the official commissioning of the Federal Judicial Service Liaison Office and Justice Mary Ojole Judicial Institute in Port Harcourt. These two separate projects are part of the commitments of the Wiki's administration to promote effective judicial training, productivity, and efficiency among judicial officers. Says Lordship Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariola, GCON, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, will commission the Federal Judicial Service Liaison Office and Justice Mary Ojole Judicial Institute on Friday, 25th November 2022, along Bank Road in Port Harcourt at 11 a.m. You welcome all invited guests. Announcer Chris Finebone, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications.
My people, Emeka, make us come out. Let me get all this people. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when they do bust, then my eye open. You know, see that 419 be. Now when the FCC bam, then they come back me too. Now he make me the one you. When I want to do business like me, when they carry big money, when I will sometimes I will carry transfer. They bring back, look my stand in my eye, because the special control unit against money laundering, what they call school, they don't want to, if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them, can I go here? Bank. If you don't do them like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. They go suspend your license, or they go look at that for your hand. You talk say, I know 1 year.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service, in collaboration with the Nigerian Television Authority, presents Tax Impact, Education Tax, Keeping the Fountains of Our Ivory Towers Flowing, a documentary that tells the story of the education tax, showing on the network service of the NTA. Date, Saturday, 26th November 2022. Time, 8:30 p.m. Do not miss it.
Thanks for staying with us. A critical compendium on the personality of President Muhammadu Buhari, chronicling his modest life, has been formally unveiled in Niamey, Republic of Niger. The publication was sponsored by the government of Niger in honor of the Nigerian leader, widely acclaimed as a man of enormous integrity and leader par excellence. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
The book, entitled Muhammadu Buhari, Challenges of Leadership in Nigeria, written by an American professor of international studies, John Padden, was first launched in Abuja, Nigeria in 2016. The immediate past president of Niger, Muhammadu Issoufou, initiated the translation of the book in French and completed by his successor in office, Mohamed Bazoum.
Mr. President Buhari, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to honor you, to celebrate you.
And apart from the Nigerian leader, the public presentation of the book in Niamey was also witnessed by ECOWAS chairman and president of Guinea-Bissau, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, as well as the president, transition government, and head of state of the Republic of Chad, Muhammad Idris Deby Itno.
Whether for the well-being of the population or development of the continent, President Muhammadu Buhari has always been there to defend the cause of Africa and the Africans.
Baba has always been a staunch supporter of our people.
The highly elected President Muhammadu Buhari formally appreciated the government of Niger for what he called the enviable honor bestowed on him.
There is no greater honor than one's life is considered worthy of emulation. Let me underscore my fervent hope that this ceremony and the biography it commemorates serve as a clarion call to emerging leaders across Africa and inspire them to always be guided by the core values of hard work, integrity, and patriotism, and also work in accordance with the rule of law and constitutional constraints.
The president, however, used the opportunity to draw attention to the escalating volatility and multiplicity of threats across West Africa and the Sahel, which he said underlines the need for enhanced coordination towards effective response.
There is no doubt that we have made incremental progress in our collective fight against terrorism and other transborder crimes. However, a lot remains to be done, especially in the face of renewed efforts by violent extremists groups to expand their operation and footholds in West Africa. Let us at this point reiterate Nigeria's commitment to bilateral as well as multilateral initiatives to end terrorism and other transborder crimes in our region with neighboring partners like Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. This objective is achievable.
During the event, President Mohamed Bazoum awarded his country's national honors on 4 prominent Nigerians for immensely contributing towards enhancing the highly beneficial relations between Nigeria and Niger. The awardees include a consummate businessman and philanthropist, Mohamed Indimi, and the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. From Niamey, Republic of Niger, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, has enjoined public servants to always put in their best in their places of service as their future assignment could be dependent on their present productivity and loyalty. Professor Gambari said this when the management of the State House hosted him to an impromptu 78th birthday celebration. Speaking at the brief ceremony, Permanent Secretary State House Tijani Umar, while wishing the Chief of Staff to the President good health and guidance to continue to discharge the onerous task his office entails, assured him that they will continue to appreciate his fatherly role to the staff as well as his guidance. In his remarks, the Special Advisor Media and Publicity to the President, Femi Adesina, said while many are defined by their office or what they do, Professor Ibrahim Gambari had already been defined as an accomplished academic and diplomat. According to him, Professor Gambari has brought value to the office of the Chief of Staff to the President. Others who spoke made glorious remarks about the celebrant and wished him more years of robust health. 18 tertiary institutions and 20 markets consisted micro, small and medium enterprises are to enjoy unlimited broadband infrastructure being deployed by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. Chimdema Ndubisi reports that the Minister, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, notes that this will improve quality of education and link local businesses with the international community for economic growth.
E-learning is the in thing these days. Likewise, e-commerce and telemedicine. In fact, every sector now relies on internet connectivity to improve its outcomes. But without efficient broadband, these services would not be feasible. So, the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, with the backing of the Federal Executive Council, after remitting 80% of collected revenues to the federal government, has given out the 20% due to it, so as to provide unlimited broadband infrastructure to some tertiary institutions and MSMEs. This is to be deployed by the NCC.
In this phase 1, each university will approximately benefit with the broadband infrastructure unlimited, approximately around 400 million naira.
As part of our contribution to broadband penetration, starting from 1st December 2022, for the next 2 years, the FCT will charge only 14 naira 50 kobo per linear meter for any new area.
6,000 EPAD tablets have been distributed to 58 tertiary and public institutions. A book of 7 chapters titled Skills Rather Than Just Degrees, authored by the Communications and Digital Economy boss, was presented to the public. President, Microsoft Corporation, Brad Smith, wrote the foreword to the book.
The book in not all the impacts states the direction of highly skilled and competent employable citizens.
With these efforts, professionals believe innovation, creativity, economic freedom, and self-sustainability are guaranteed in these impacted sectors. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority has received the executive management of the Federal Capital Development Authority, and both discussed existing relationships and ways of fostering more collaboration for the benefit of Nigerians. Abdul Malik Hassan reports.
A meeting between like minds, more of an engagement between the landlord and the tenant. Here the Federal Capital Development Authority is extending hands of friendship.
We indeed are happy to see the news of your confirmation as the Director General of the NTA.
They have time to speak on some key issues topping their agenda.
I want to also give you some glad tidings that we are almost done and resolved with the issue of improving the circulation within the headquarters and other adjoining development, which we have been relating with the NTA properties. And I think it won't be long when we have made a deliberate choice of the contractor to handle that. It will be Mrs. Julius Vega.
The DG NTA recounts the relocation of the NTA to Abuja and the role of the FCDA promises unflinching support to the FCDA using its wide reach network.
We are there for you. Just like I have said the other time we visited you,
there are a huge opportunity for you to leverage on the authority. And I can assure you that we are going to give you that for free.
Shortly after, Elizade Nigeria Limited was on ground to discuss how NTA can leverage on its services in maintaining and purchase of its automobile.
We can give NTA a good package service plan. So it's better when you are doing that, you have rest of mind.
If you would still like to reveal the nature of battle zones, and I think you have so much to do with the, with the media, and we can be of great benefit to your company.
At the end, a consensus was reached. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Yola has set aside the judgment of a federal high court that nullified the governorship primary election of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Adamawa State. The court has ordered that the name of Senator Aishatu Dahiru Binani be sent to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as Adamawa APC governorship candidate for the 2023 election. Bilkisu Abubakar reports.
The Federal High Court sitting in Yola had on October 14, 2022 nullified the APC governorship primary election that produced Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmad as governorship candidate of the party in Adamawa State. To this effect, Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmad, APC, and Malam Nuru Balu have challenged the judgment of the Federal High Court at the Court of Appeal Yola. In her ruling, Justice Sani Yusuf, who led other two judges, dismissed the case of Malam Nuru Balu, while APC and Senator Aishatu Binani won their case.
We are hopeful that Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed will be able to reap the benefits of her nominations.
We believe that such judgment would always place things in the proper perspective.
Supporters of APC and Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmad were seen at the entrance of the court jubilating for the victory of their party and the candidature of the senator. Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Tallen, says her ministry will continue to support efforts of women to contribute to national development, regardless of tribe, class, or creed. While reacting to the Court of Appeal judgment that reinstated Senator Aisha Dahiru Binani as the APC governorship candidate for Adamawa State, Dame Pauline Tallen said it is historic in the journey towards entrenching democratic principles. The judgment, she says, called for celebration and renewed hope for Nigerian women and girls, as it is, in her words, an assurance that in 2023, Nigerian women will celebrate the first female democratically elected governor. Mrs. Tallen also rejoices with Senator Stella Odua on her victory, saying women are again assured a senatorial seat come 2023. More on politics now. The Labour Party has flagged off its Southwest presidential campaign in Ibadan. Yemisi Ajagun reports.
The presidential candidate for Labour Party, Peter Obi, his running mates, party whigs, and other party loyalists converged to start the presidential campaign for Southwest in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, to canvass the support of Oyo State residents. He promised an all-inclusive government built on equity, fairness, and justice if elected in the forthcoming general elections.
Somebody who is very selfless.
Party flag was also presented to the party's governorship candidates in Oyo State.
Let's now link up with Michael in our Lagos studio for more reports. Michael?
Thank you, Cyril. Over 50 women with outstanding entrepreneurial skills are present at the NACA Network of Entrepreneurial Women exhibition in Lagos. Anidano supports that It is also a platform to further empower more women on how to become successful entrepreneurs.
Opportunities for learning how to package your products ready for exports.
With a passion to build generations of successful women in business, the Mecca Network Entrepreneurial Women Group was established. This exhibition is therefore put together for women of all ages to come showcase their goods, learn from each other, and acquire more knowledge on how best to get better from the wealth of knowledge of some government-owned agencies.
The cost of raw materials are going up. So frankly speaking,